nice. Hi,
Hi.
what's up?
Hi, how are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Doing good. So today's guest
Right.
is Karan Desai, a versatile architectural designer, and we are in for a super fun conversation today. Welcome to this live session.
Let's do. Tell me.
Yeah. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put in the comment section. In the meanwhile, I'm going to start from the very beginning. You have been in the industry for so many years. How has your journey been like over these years?
Oh, it's been a roller coaster, yeah. It's just been crazy. What do I tell you? So,
Start from anywhere.
so I I got a year drop in my second year, okay? Now, I just want to say this out loud because a lot of people go through what I went through. They might get a year drop or something like that. And somewhere in my case, it was like a blessing in disguise, okay? So in my second year, I got a year drop, and the next day itself, I started interning under an architect who's like a celebrity architect today, and I totally owe up to him everything that whatever I'm doing, right? Because he's really trained me hard. He's Ashish, okay? And no questions asked. I joined him when I didn't even know what a skirting was, okay? So he's put in a lot of efforts in training me those days. And then, you know what? I had to resume my college. And after college, you know how it is like chachi, mami, and everybody waiting. Ki, Arey, beta architect ban raha hai, to chalo, let's get something from him. Let's do something.
Firstly,
So, so I was like, Acha, chalo, yaar, it is there. I will start with it, and then I will perhaps figure to like join somebody or go abroad if I must or whatever. And the beauty was that, one after the other, things kept coming in. We kept doing work. Sometimes it's been really low, 3 months, no work, but sometimes there's a lot of work, amazing clients, and amazing everything. Okay. So, yeah, it's just a roller coaster. It's amazing. So, the couple of things that I'd like to say is that when we talk about work, sorry, this lighting is going crazy in my
no problem.
space. Okay, so when we talk about work, I'm also there's one part of me which looks after the spirituality bit, and there's this other part of which is like working into the actual world, and people say that, oh, it's too difficult to um, balance spirituality and work. And somewhere with my guru's grace and his teachings and his satsangs and all, I'm striving to strike a balance between the both, Okay, you can get really good work out of people and have amazing connect and balancing the spiritual life. तो वो एक quest है. And the other beautiful part is, Utsav, I must say, is that in today's day and age where there are like more than 1,000 people popping out every year being architects, interior designers, or more than that perhaps. And so it's a crazy competition there, and there are a lot of people who do amazing work. And in perhaps in this time in pandemic where everyone's hit really bad and everyone's looking for work, but the bonding between the contemporaries right now, right? Like for example, I would say like Ali is there, Sarah is there, Nishita is there, so many other people. And there are times when everyone goes through an up and down and all of that ride, and everyone's there to support you. Like of course, mentally, emotionally, giving you a call, sending you like messages. I think that's very important where it's not a threat कि अरे ये भी आर्किटेक्ट है ये भी डिजाइनर है मेरा काम ले जाएगा ऐसा कुछ तो वो सब at least I don't see that happening, and it's an amazing bonding which a lot of my type का मतलब मेरा सरीका का interior designers are having that bond. And second thing is your peers, like your seniors. They are there to guide you, they are there to help you out, they are there to see if there is anything else that they can venture out into and give you some job. So like I know that Kunal is there. He's like my mentor, he's like my guide, my brother, everything. And he's like constantly behind me, that so it's a beautiful journey, and I think it's just going to continue. You keep learning all of that. Yeah.
Right. So in such times, we are talking about community driven and this close knit group. How do you keep your
Right.
mojo up? How do you, what is that thought that makes you jump out of bed every morning and go to work?
If my mother is listening to this, my sister, and if Kunal is listening to this, they'll testify that we'll have to kick him out of the bed. He's not waking up. But it's ulta with me. I spend my evenings and my nights in my studio, and I spend time working. Uh, to be honest, Utsav, it's been my dream since I was in my fifth grade. All right, that this is what I want to do, and today I'm living my dream. So whenever there is any new project, okay, it's just that thing to do something new, to do something creative, to just happen to do something beautiful for somebody else is enough of a motivation for me to be like all over the place. I'll be like on
It
the
keeps
seventh
it
cloud.
keeps coming in your dreams also, I have to do this, try that. This happens with me a lot.
I dream about it, yes. So during this entire lockdown of past 4 months, I have at least dreamt about this one particular site like more than 10 times. Okay. So I've been on site working, I'm with the clients, I'm doing all sorts of nonsense, but yeah, it's just in my head. It's amazing.
Right. So
Yeah.
tell me about the Blue House project. How do you blend such bold patterns and such bold forms together?
So, the beauty here is it is a lot to do with whom you're doing the project for, So, there are a lot of times when the client is very, very cynical about anything that is too adventurous. Okay, there are times when they actually know what they want to do and there's a very specific brief. And there are times when the client himself is very adventurous, perhaps wants to try something new that for next 10 years, okay, you look back to that house and you still keep falling in love with it. So that was one client that I found on this project, okay, although the entire family was against it, okay. But I realized that all I have to do is convince this guy, okay, and he's going to take care of the entire army, right? So it was fun. But when you talk about this, uh, uh, what I do is that if I feel that if something is really adventurous or something which is out of the box and somewhere it's just to do with a lot of mindset. क्योंकि अभी देखिए छोटा मतलब घर तो बहुत बड़ा था 1500 स्क्वायर फीट बट इट्स जस्ट अ माइंडसेट कि अरे इतना हाइट में हम लोग डार्क कलर नहीं कर सकते डबल हाइट होएगा तो डार्क कलर कर सकते हैं इफ द स्पेस इज बिग यू कैन डू डार्क एंड वार्म कलर्स अदरवाइज you don't. You can't put a four-poster bed in like say a 8 foot height wall. So I think it's the mindset. All right. So either you live with that mindset and do away with it, or somewhere you challenge that. Okay. And trust me, a week you spend in that space and you're going to start loving it. Okay. So what I figured out that he wanted a lifestyle shift. Okay, he already is a very swanky guy. He lives his life to the fullest. Okay, and he's like, Karan, I've lived in this house for 10 years. Okay, and it's done good to me. Now for the next 10 years, I want a house which I'm going to cherish. Okay, so see what you want to do. And when it comes to that point, when it is not just not one person, but the wife, the kids, the mother, the father, everybody who has to be on the same page. um, what I would do is like, and it is just me because I really want to do something crazy, is that we would make a 3D representation, perhaps like a little walkthrough, like an entire mood board will be set. I will make sure that we make a physical model with all those elements that I want to sell, and present it with like if you see there's a screen which comes down here and we project the entire walkthrough with the reference images and the physical model. I think that does the deal. perhaps कभी कभार ऐसा हो जाता है कि अगर पसंद नहीं भी आया, I don't know, but most of the times it is work कि यार कितना मेहनत किया है इसने, like we must let this, we must experiment on this, so it's fun. So my entire studio is full of materials and this and that, so it's that it's that feeling, that entire environment that we create in the studio. And oh my God, this is like a little bit of a secret that I just spilled on the internet. But this is what we do when I really want to sell a project. Yeah.
Right. So if a client is, let's say, doubtful or cynical about such a bold move, what do you
Yes.
do?
So this is my entire process, making a 3D model, mood board, a walkthrough on a projector that you see, everything. So the moment they come in and that 1.5 hour that I keep talking, 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 talking,
Luring them into
that's the deal.
agreeing to
Yeah,
your design.
that's the deal.
Right.
But it's sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, because not everyone is ex ex is open to experiments and changes, But anyway, in that case also, we always have like a basic plan which we can't go wrong with, okay? And then we have something like this really crazy idea, which we try to push and execute it. So the Blue House was one of that adventurous thing which I had like a massive support of the client. Okay. And yeah,
What
that's
do
it.
you absolutely love about that project?
The idea, Utsav, you also have to tell me if I'm taking a lot of time, and you have to tell me till what time are we talking, okay? Because it's amazing to talk
It's okay.
about.
People are listening to you so curiously. So yeah, keep
All
talking.
right. Okay. So, the sheer pleasure of breaking the concepts, okay? कि छोटा घर में डार्क कलर नहीं कर सकते, और वो भी वॉल और सीलिंग में, plus a really dark wooden floor, it is not going to work. So that was one concept that I wanted to break. Then you have a really long space, and how do you define functions? Because you have to give your living, foyer, dining, then a part of the kitchen. So in a really bogey like a compartment like space that you have, okay, that was a challenge because there were no partition walls in the house. They were all sheer walls. So I couldn't move them around. So I had to play in that exact set which was given to me. So that was a second challenge. And the third thing was like, some things like, chota height mein, you can't have a four poster, and that is what exactly I've done. I just have a height of 7.5 feet, okay, where I have a 7 feet high four poster bed, you know. So, and it is dark. Okay, we've made it like into a den, but you have to see the space. The clients are loving it, and every day they fall in love with the space. So that's the beauty, like that's the charm in bringing something a different experience to the user. सादा घर करने के लिए तो बॉस देयर आर 1,000 people who are there. मतलब I still need the work, okay? ऐसा नहीं है कि don't come to me. I'm saying that मतलब regular करना है वो तो कोई भी कर सकता है यार. But if you're coming to me, then somewhere I would want you to expect that little adventure, little craziness, that little journey that you will go through the house. Journey throughout the execution also, and then post that. So that's what gives me like that pleasure of doing something new, like a different experience.
Okay. Tell me about Karan Desai Home. What was that light bulb moment when you founded this?
Karan Desai Home. So I can't sit idle in general. Matlab, abhi, for example, we've got projects and the design phase is done and the execution is going on. We have team who's taking care of it. Everything is sorted, going in sync with whatever we've planned and everything. तो फिर अभी जब तक कोई एकदम ऐसा नया प्रोजेक्ट नहीं आ जाएगा, what do I do? Like, I'll go crazy. in my head. I need something to like keep fidgeting with my brains to do something new, to do something creative. So there was this one time when when everything was at bay, everything was going really smooth. And this is one client who called and said that, Karan, can you suggest me a place where I can get some good accessories? You know, I was like, yeah, there are like heaps of stores out there. She's like, yeah, but there are only like three stores that you can actually name them and go and pick stuff. And the whole of Bombay goes there. And eventually, what happens is that it's also like a repetition of the same product. So she's like, I need something different. Can you help me? And I was like, not really. I'm very sorry, unless we really travel out there or whatever. So then that got me to think that what can I do as a designer, okay, to get something crazy on the table that would allow my users to have a different character when it comes to accessorizing their place, okay? So that's when I started to think about that, okay, what material should I work with? Of course, ceramic is everywhere, FRP is everywhere. What else can I do? And being an architect and understanding that, concrete is my best friend. We build everything with concrete. Why don't I play with this material? In the West, it is gladly accepted, but not as much in India. People don't see that as a really cool material to have accessories made out of. There are heaps of people who make things out of concrete, okay, due respect, and they're doing great stuff. But somewhere I don't see them in the market, you know. So that's when the idea came in that, okay, I need to make something, I need to start a line of accessories and concrete will be the material. And then the entire journey of, अरे concrete में क्या करेंगे, ये adhesive डालो, ये bonding agents डालो, ये करो, वो करो. पूरा 3 महीने का research and development के बाद we came to a conclusion that भैया, you know, simple reti cement and pani just works. And this is for everyone out there who want to explore and who want to do crazy stuff. Just these three things and you're sorted. Of course, how you make it, what you do, and everything is like an entire process. But this was the idea, and the beauty was that we've sold the. If I see the ratio of us selling those products that we've made compared to something that compared to the customization bit in concrete has been higher. We've had so many designers and architects who've come up to us and said that, hey, Karan, can you make this in concrete for us? Can you do this in concrete for us? And that's been challenging. That's the beauty of it, that जब भी कोई कंक्रीट का नाम नहीं लेता था और अभी हम लोग कितना सारा कुछ मटेरियल्स कंक्रीट में बना रहे हैं. So yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. Yeah. So what is the process like when you design these kind of products?
Okay, so technically you are asking a trade secret from me, but
No, I'm asking a design secret from you.
okay. All right. See, designing. So when it comes to concrete, and this is what we've been doing in Karan Desai home, is like we've started with this concrete stuff, right? So concrete is a material which needs to be molded. Okay. So for anything like that, you need to have in back of your mind that you will need a mold to cast something out of it. Okay. So then the filling material could be plaster of Paris or concrete or whatever you want. But so something where it can be there has to be a mold to mold the concrete into. So somewhere there is a little bit of a restriction because a lot of 3D curves and insets and all of that may not work. So if I have a lotus in a 2D will work perhaps in concrete. But if I have a lotus in 3D, and by 3D I mean that, say perhaps every petal is in a different direction, has bends and all of that, then perhaps I will fail. And this I'm telling you out of my personal experience, because if you see our logo is a lotus, okay? That's what Karan Desai Home is all about. It's a lotus. And we wanted to make lotus out of a concrete, okay? But again, we didn't want like just a sada lotus which you see anywhere else, like which is just a 2D with all spiky petals coming up. We wanted it to have its own nazakat. And after a lot of trial and errors, we realized कि ये इसमें नहीं हो सकता है, you know. So then we chose another medium to make our lotuses, which we have, like, I think if you will see here, yeah. So this is the lotus that we made, but this is not concrete. Okay. So this is a separate thing we can talk about some other time. But so yeah, so when you are designing something, okay, for your own product line or for a designer or for a specific project, you have to be very mindful कि आपका design कैसे होने वाला है, कितना कितना folds है, कौन सा direction में जा रहा है वो सब, or and then after that it's just amazing, you know. So you can design whatever you want, right? And then there are these set processes that you make a mold, and that mold has to be you pour the concrete, you let it dry, you let it set, you remove it out, let it cure, sand it, and it's done, you know, because it's concrete. You don't need to do anything more to that.
Somebody's asking, how do you combine Guju decor sense in contemporary concrete decor designs?
You know what is really funny? Because my viewers thing is stuck at 19, so I don't even know how many people are there, and I don't even see any messages coming up. Yeah, this is so stupid. Why?
It's okay.
It's just funny.
I'll
Okay, so listen, I just by default talk Guju when I'm talking. Okay, but my design aesthetics are not Guju. They're like quite uplift and sophisticated, I would say.
So, do you
Okay.
have any tips for the audience on how to use lighting to have the perfect look and some do's and don'ts?
Okay, light. You know, so light, I've always struggled in my initial days how to light a particular project. Okay, like if you see in my studio also, it's just very basic that एक bed है तो उसका चार कोना में चार light होना चाहिए, बीच में fan होना चाहिए, and this is it. Okay, but you know, I've seen Ashish do his lighting bit. I've seen my another friend Preeti who does really good lighting stuff. And then I realized, and I've studied that, and then I've started to experiment on my own in the projects that we do. Is that, and you know, this will also talk about a little bit of automation, because we get so many people talking about automation कि आप automation क्यों नहीं करते वगैरह, but मेरे को automation का जरूरत नहीं पड़ता है, क्योंकि the lighting of the house is done in such a way that uh, the ceiling level of light, okay, does the ambient, मतलब वो लाइटिंग ही ऐसा करेगा कि जब भी आप ऐसे ऑटोमेशन में उसको ऐसा सेट करेंगे कि दिस इज द मूड दैट आई वांट टू सेट, माय सीलिंग लाइट्स वुड डू दैट फॉर यू नो. उसका अलावा में कुछ और चाहिए, देन आई हैव द वॉल लाइट्स दैट विल डू द स्टफ फॉर मी. And the third layer of light will be my floor lamps and my table lamps, you know. So that's how I divide my lighting into. जब भी चाहिए तो तीनों लेयर को साथ में चालू कर दो, इट विल बी लाइक अ मेला लाइटिंग. ओके, बट जब भी कोई ऐसा स्पेसिफिक मूड चाहिए तो हर एक के लिए ये तीन लेयर्स का लाइटिंग डिजाइन कर सकते हैं.
Yes.
Do you
What's
want me
your
to talk a
dream
little bit
project?
more? My dream project, shit. Okay. So, you know, to be extremely hypothetical about it, like it would have been crazy if I get a project. Like, you know, if I had Zaha Hadid walking into my studio and saying that, Karan, here, like, I want you to design a project for me. But sadly, we don't have her. But that would have been like my dream project. Okay. But the project that we are doing at the moment in Valkeshwar, okay, that has been my dream project. And I'll tell you why. In 2010, I had gone to this house, okay, and just 6 months ago, the house was done. It was a duplex, and the guy had spent like left, right, center, and I see like all these Italian brand ka furniture pieces there, and that got me like really excited. And there's automation, no fans in the house, centrally AC, and I was like, यार ऐसा कोई घर मिल जाए ना, you know, तो मजा आ जाए. लाइक मतलब मैं क्या ही कुछ नहीं कर सकता ये ऐसे प्रोजेक्ट में. ओके, देन आफ्टर सम टाइम आई थॉट दैट यार घर तो मिल जाए ऐसा, बट ऐसा दिलदार क्लाइंट भी चाहिए जो ऐसा बेफाम, ऐसा
That is more important.
without any restriction, he lets you explore what you want to do, you know. You won't believe this was just a little humble prayer that I put into the universe. I was talking to my my guru, that how cool that one day when you find me worthy of taking care of a project like that, um, this will be my dream. And 2018, I get a call from this guy saying that, "Hi, Karan." And I was like, "Hey," he's like, I have this house which has been lying vacant for a while, and I want to redo it. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
What's up? Can you hear me? Okay. And I want to redo it. And I was like that, okay, cool. So he's like, when do you want to start? I was like, you've not even seen my work. Do you want me to pitch for you? This, that. He's like, no, 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 not a problem. Koi zarurat nahi hai. You just come, we will talk about it, and you just start the work. Now, the beauty is, it's that house, okay, which back from 2010, and it's the same client, okay, who calls and tells me to do a project for him. We've been working on that project. It by far at the moment, that's my dream project. So, I mean, like, right from the door to the windows to switches to curtains to carpets, furniture, you name it, and we've detailed out like to the T in that house. So that's gonna be that's my dream project. That's the same house which I've been dreaming about since this entire pandemic.
Awesome. So any movie that you have taken inspiration from?
Movies. Oh shit. No.
Sarah is saying you're looking very cute.
Who's
Hi,
saying that?
Sarah. Sarah is saying you're looking very
Oh,
cute.
oh God. Thank you, Sarah. Shit, I can't read these
That's okay.
messages. Yes.
I'll read out for you.
Okay.
I'll read out for you. Yeah.
Thanks, Sarah. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Let's
Sarah
talk
is a
about
massive
movies.
inspiration, okay?
Yeah, for me
Okay,
too. I love
movies.
movies.
I know, right? Um, uh, Sorry, yeah. Like, hey, why, you can't throw just these random questions at me. Yeah.
Okay. Varun is
Okay.
asking,
No, 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 no,
do
no,
you
no,
have
but
a
hold
signature
on.
style?
Sorry?
Varun is asking about your signature style. Your
My
signature style.
signature style.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do have a signature style. Yeah. Like, so for example, uh, signature style in terms of designing, then
Yeah.
yeah, like I like to give, like, there are the moldings are, we have rounded moldings where the wall and the ceiling meet, and I like to like color them both together. I don't like differentiating the wall and the ceiling. So that's perhaps, and this I've learned from Ashish, and I've been doing that, and I've chipped out that detail in all my projects. um, and and yeah, dude, like me, man, like uh, nothing otherwise, yeah. I'm quite flexible, and I like to do something crazy on every project.
All right. So,
Yeah, so being crazy is the signature project of me. Like, if you see something like really weird and you're like, oh my God, Karan, what you've done? Perhaps it'll be like me.
right. So, what is more important for you? Design satisfaction, money, or name?
Uh,
This is
I have
not questions now.
So, a lot of these like people who are on this chat right now will agree to this, that it has always been design satisfaction. I'm a very, very, very bad businessman, and I need to learn. Although 2020 was meant to be the year that I where I strategize everything, okay, and but yeah,
Sarah is
I'm
saying
more of
money
a
for
man of a
Katie.
heart, huh?
Sarah is
For
saying
what?
it's money for you.
For me, Sarah, you out of your mind? She was the one who's given me like a 2 ghanta lecture in the flight from Delhi to Bombay to explain it to me, to hit it in my head that Karan, stop being a fool. What
Yeah.
nonsense. Huh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Grand Design Studio is also saying Katie is a guju. Money is the important one for you.
I'm a worse Gujarati in that case. I'm a worse Gujarati in that case. I become the fool every time.
Awesome. Thank you, Karan. Thank you so much for this amazing conversation. If anybody has
That
any
was
questions
nice.
to ask, just shoot your questions in the comment section. In the meanwhile, I'm coming back to the movies. I want
Oh,
to know a movie
damn.
from
Okay.
you. Yeah.
Recently I saw, and it was quite late, I saw this Made in Heaven. Okay. And the house that they show of that, whoever was the main character, it's really amazing. I just kind of liked it. I just liked that one staircase, like a bold staircase, which is there, and that kind of intrigued me. But that's about it. But talking about movies, yeah, not really. That anything that I do is inspired. I'm a movie buff. I watch a lot of movies, but not that I take inspiration from there to like do my designing bit. It's never happened that way.
Who is your favorite international interior designer? Sarah, if you
International, international interior designer. You know? Oh, okay. Uh, well, I won't be wrong if I say Sarah Sham because very soon she's going to be like an international figure. Okay. But having said that, that's so mm, यार इंटीरियर डिजाइनर तो ऐसा कुछ है नहीं बट Kelly Ressler is one of the person whom I've seen the works online and I keep following this randomly a lot of people okay but that's about it yeah I mean but Zaha Hadid eventually is somewhere I think that base concept of giving an experience to your user is what drives most of my projects in terms of design.
awesome.
Is she posting more questions? Like,
Yes,
please
yes,
stop.
yes. She's saying nonsense. They really are, and Kelly is queen. Everybody loves Kelly, to be very honest.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's just
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
I just like the
Absolutely.
flair that she's got. And then
Have you
we've
seen
got
her?
Sarah and
Have you seen
Cave
a
Concept.
master class? Have you seen a master class? It's
I
amazing.
haven't yet. I haven't yet, but
That's the
yeah,
first
I
one I
want to. I
saw.
want to see it.
Yeah, it's
All
amazing.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, Ritika is asking Karan why blue?
Why blue? Huh. So, see, when you see the color palette, ne, okay, you have the base colors, which is going to be like your white and beiges and all of that, and then you'll have your like a sand color and all of them like grays and all are beige color, like a base color palette, very neutral, which I play a lot with, and neutral. Why? Because आप पूरा घर को ही वैसे color में कर दो, and then it becomes it you can throw anything against it, you know multicolor, monochrome, kuch bhi kar do, and the house will still look beautiful. So the house can grow with the client over the time. In terms of when it comes to bold colors, okay, black is very stark, so you move that out. Okay, black, charcoal, and all of them are out.
Mm.
Apart from then, the blues and the reds and the greens and all of that, okay, they come with a very strong personality. I would say, like colors don't have personality, but something like that that you can't have like a red space. But having said that, I would love to experiment with a wine or like a deep green, like an emerald green and all of that, okay, but yet all these colors have a very strong association. But when you talk about blue, blue is somewhere to me is again a very neutral bold color, कि आप कर दो, like even Sarah's played a lot with blue, I have played a lot with blue. पर अभी वो सेम ब्लू की जगह पे मैंने अगर रेड कर दिया होता तो it would have looked like some चांदनी बार perhaps, but that but that blue somewhere I feel is the universal neutral bold color that you can't go wrong with, or like say like even a darker, not like a charcoal gray but a dark gray, like these two colors I feel are very safe to play with, and they really bring out the character into the whole space that you do it with.
Awesome. So, how are you managing sites during this time?
How am I managing what sites? Oh,
Yeah.
so all our sites are shut right now. Okay. Most of them are happening in these residential buildings. So the societies are not allowing us to work. Okay, they're not allowing even the domestic help to come in. Okay, So, and due respect, I understand that, and we must take these measures during this entire madness. But, for example, we have this project in Dadar. It's in an under construction building. Okay? So that we are starting. So we are starting that from Monday. So that's kind of
Right.
interesting, and I'm getting like really like happy कि चलो कुछ तो शुरू हो जाएगा.
Yeah, after
And
four
so
months.
yeah, after 4 months, right? And
Mm.
this lockdown has also been amazing because most of them, so in terms of the clients, they've got a clear picture of what they now want in their houses, okay? Because everybody's doing bartan and this and that and all of that themselves, and they are experiencing कि अरे हमने यहाँ पर ये गलती कर दी, यहाँ पे ये करना चाहिए था वगैरह.
Yeah.
So that is getting filtered, and they know what they want to do. And in addition, that there are people who have also thought of doing something to their houses, either renovating or new houses and all of that. They have been on the outlook for like designers
They're
and
getting
architects who
sensitive
can.
towards their spaces. Yes.
Yeah, so in this period, it's been amazing that we've gotten inquiries, that we've worked on the back end of it, that the whole design phase and the working drawing stage and everything is completed just in this time. So when we are the moment we are allowed to start the work, we don't waste a single day.
Right. Any books that
Okay.
inspired you or you would like to recommend to the viewers?
You know,
Of course.
I have, I, who is this guy? I want to know who's asking this.
Um, Paramdeep.
Okay. So, guys, I don't read, okay, and I feel very embarrassed to tell this on this platform. But I mean, like, we do have a lot of these catalogs and these magazines and everything. Um, But in terms of reading a book, there's only one book that I've read. It is 40 Rules of Love. Okay. It's
Okay.
it's an amazing book. It's moved mountains for me. All right. It's a beautiful rendezvous between Shams and Rumi and his guru, who's master, who's Shams. And the beauty is that what uh, Shams and Rumi explain about the couple of verses in Quran in the 12th century, okay, um, is the same essence what Gurudev in the 21st century talks about in his satsangs. So this entire thing, that when Bapa says that the truth is universal, you pick it up from Jainism, Christianity, Islam, or wherever. If you have an enlightened master to explain them to you, it is going to be the same today, tomorrow, and since the time. So that's one book which, and I must have gifted at least like more than 20 of them to my different friends of mine. So yeah, that's the only book I've read. Yeah.
I read a lot of books actually. It took me 3 years to get used to reading books, and then I started reading one book per week. I used to finish one book every week. But now for the past
Wow. Shit. Okay, so I need to get into that thing. But yeah, I think I
it
must read,
helped.
I should read. But it's just there. Yeah.
Helped. All right. Thank you, Karan, for such an amazing conversation. It was great having you on today. And thank you,
All right,
Ritika, for
it's pleasure.
organizing this session. All
Thanks,
right. Bye.
Ritika. Thanks, Utsav.
Bye.
Bye.